Hey, it's Ed here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for gold. I'll cover wave analysis with Elliott Wave theory and provide multiple scenarios your price may take and explain why I prefer one count over another. Let's take a look at the different possibilities. Starting here on daily time frame and looking at this count starting from around the December 2015 onwards. On these, the main scenario is that we had this as a wave 1, 2, 3, 4 and then looking for that fifth. I don't think wave 4 is done yet at this moment again, but we'll look into the scenarios that we have on these structures over here. The other scenario is that we have already completed this 5-way structure like so. However, I don't like the wave 4 being so swift, although we would have alteration against it too. But again, that being so short in time, it makes it very much less likely. Now, keeping this in mind that we have the primary idea of having this as the wave 4, or this as the wave 4 before, these were the some of the options that we had. This was one of the bullish ideas, the only bullish ideas that we had previously, and now this has already been invalidated as well, finally, because again, having anything to do with expanding diagonals is something that I don't trade, and this is definitely one of those scenarios that I didn't trade. Although, again, having it some kind of a impulsive structure from here is definitely a possible scenario. This was the scenario in silver as well, which I did take the trade here, I think, and that just fell over and didn't form into anything. Now, the main idea here is that we have some kind of 3-way structure, whether it's an ABC or WXY, I'm not quite sure. If we are thinking about the ABC scenario, because again, this is more likely to be that, because again, the second wave structure here ended right around the start of this first one. So most likely it would be A, B, and C, some kind of flat pattern. We did not take out the highs here, so this would mean that it would be a regular flat. And again, that would mean that we are targeting these 1-to-1 and most likely maximum around the 1.382 extension, which would be around $1,520 area. Now we are on that area, but to me, I don't think this is very good looking as a 5-way structure in here. We are getting this as the lowest low here on RSI, which would indicate a third wave. However, I can't really get a good looking wave structure into here that would end it as a wave 3. In my mind, this looks pretty okay as a 5-way move like so, and then we could be looking at either A, B, and C as some kind of a structure as a connector before continuation to the downside here. But I just can't get this into being a wave 3. Otherwise, we would have like 1, 2. I don't know. Is this another 1, 2? I just can't get it to there. So that's why I'm leaning more towards the wave X or WXY count overall, because again, this structure here reminds more of some kind of a complex correction structure in which we would have something connecting to each other, or we would have this as a 1-2, 1-2 setup. But that would be way more bearish than I have in mind at the moment. And I can't really allow that either, because again, 1-2, 1-2, then this would be 3. But again, we are getting overlap here and here, so we can't have that as a 3. So this would have to be a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. And at that point, again, that would be very much of a bearish count. We would be getting 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, and 3, 4, 5. And that would be a very large correction. I don't think that would fit the idea of being this ABC. Instead, that would be something completely different. But let's jump into the WXY possibilities that we have here. Now, the issue I have with this count that I've shown you before is that we had an ABC here and the X wave did not get to the 38.2. Of course, that is not a must, but again, that is something that we seek to create that right look in the counts. At this very moment, it is possible that we would have this as another 5-way move into an A wave. Let's zoom in a bit. Into an A wave. And then looking for this as the B wave. Although I don't really like it. as a three-way structure, but again we don't have an alteration here or alternate, because again we took out the lows, so it has to be a three-way structure like this. And then either the structure here is finished in here, or we are creating something like this as that connector that I was talking about, and then continuation to the downside. Now, having this in mind, it definitely feels like it could be an just a regular ABC coming down, but I can't really get again that five-way structure in here very cleanly, so that's why I'm a bit thinking something else here. Now, the other scenario would be that we have this as a five-way structure instead. This would bring us to the A wave, and we would be talking about that same structure here that I just mentioned as an ABC into that wave B, and then we would be looking for downwards. This would fit better here for this count, because again, if we are looking at here, this structure here, if this was the ABC, or sorry, the three-way move for this B to be here, this would be so much significantly larger than the higher time frame degree of X here, then it would not make really much sense there. So that's why I prefer it here, in which we could have it as the B wave and having it something like this. So let's jump into this and see what kind of structure we can have here. So this was the structure that we were dealing with before, having this as an ABC, in which the C wave was kind of extended. On silver, it was way more extended than this one. This one actually respected some of the maximum targets that we generally have for any ABC structures here, so that would be pretty good. In here, the next structure I've labeled this as an ABC. It can be, I guess, something else, but the wave structures inside does not really fit together either too well. So I'm just calling it ABC. It can be WXY as well. The point is that we have it starting here, ending here, and this would be a three-way move, meaning again a W, because again I'm thinking that X is here, or three-way structure is here ending, and that is getting to the 38.2, which would again say that we have a W and X, and then we would be looking for a wave Y downwards. Now in here, the next structure is not really, again, that simple to read. I could be labeling this as I've labeled it here, where we have this as a 1, 2, 3, because we have, again, lowest RSI here on the third, and then fourth here, and then having this as an extended fifth. Now, for this to happen, I don't know if we are actually having this as the wave 4 here, and this would be wave 5, but again, we can't really have a good looking five-way structure in here, so that's why I'm thinking the wave 4 should be here instead, and then we would be getting that last leg here into the fifth, and this would end this wave 5, and this would end also the wave A that we would be looking for here for that structure here, like so. So then we would be looking for that wave B, and then the last one for the wave C to complete the wave Y. Let's see, what time frame are we on? Wave Y here, and then that would end again the wave B, and then we would be looking for that C wave to go higher for this B wave. Hopefully that makes sense. So overall, 5 waves here, then A, B, C, expanded flat or a running flat here, not taking out these highs. We'll see how it turns out, if it is actually going to be plain. And then again, we would be expecting 5 waves here into the C. Now, some of the targets that we have here is basically these targets from 1671 to 1425. Anywhere between that is the higher time frame structure. Of course, we don't know where this B wave is going to go. It can also do something like that, or even higher, and that would make it more better looking for the higher time frame structure, the higher this B wave gets, because it would have that better look, and we don't need to be creating a very small C wave to give a best or better look here, for a comparison to this first leg here. Hopefully that makes sense to you. I've tried to explain it the best I can. If you have some questions about it, pop into Discord and I can try to explain it a bit better. But I feel like that is pretty much all the expectations I have at the moment for gold. So I would be looking for some kind of setup here for this C wave. Of course, but again, before that, we would have another leg downwards before that. Of course, we could be looking into some smaller time frame plays here on more local time frame for this B wave. For that, we would be expecting some kind of divergence to happen, which we do have here from the third to the end, or sorry, to the third of fifth, and then fifth against the last bit of here, which would be getting in here. Again, these are smaller degrees, so let me fix those. There we go. So we would be expecting some kind of divergence to happen and one more low here. So I'm adding alert here and looking for long setups higher to get into this B wave before they drop to the C wave and then continuation up. Again, it's going to be very zigzaggy motions, going to be taking out a lot of traders for sure. If it's going to be playing out my scenario or not, we'll see. But that is pretty much all the things I wanted to explain on gold at this very moment. If you made it this far into the video, I would appreciate the likes. Links to my free Discord server in the description below, and for now I thank you for watching and hope you have an amazing rest of your day. See you next video, bye bye.